A man was found dead inside a padlocked bag, curled up, naked, locked from the outside. The key was found inside the bag with him. Britain's most elite spy agency investigated for years, and they still cannot explain how he got in there. This is the story of Gareth Williams, and it is one of the most disturbing and baffling mysteries in the history of British intelligence. Gareth Williams was not an ordinary man. Born in Wales, he was exceptional from childhood. He went to university at just 17 years old to study advanced mathematics. He was the kind of person who could solve problems that most people could not even understand. He worked for GCHQ. That stands for Government Communications Headquarters. It is Britain's most powerful intelligence organization. The place that monitors global communications, decodes enemy messages, and runs some of the most secret operations in British history. In 2010, Gareth was temporarily transferred to work directly with MI6, Britain's foreign spy agency, the real-life organization that runs secret agents around the world. He was 31 years old. He was brilliant. He was working on classified operations that almost nobody knew about. And then he simply vanished. On August 16, 2010, his colleagues at MI6 noticed he had not shown up for work. Not for one day, not for 2 days, for an entire week. 7 days passed before anyone officially reported him missing. Think about that. A man working on Britain's most classified intelligence operations did not show up for 8 days, and nobody raised the alarm. When police finally entered his apartment in Pimlico, London, they found something that would shock the entire world. Gareth Williams was found dead inside a large red North Face sports bag. The bag was sitting inside his own bathtub. He was naked, curled up inside, and the bag was padlocked shut from the outside. The key to the padlock was found inside the bag with him. Let that sink in for a moment. To end up in that position, someone would need to climb inside the bag, pull the zipper closed from inside, and then padlock it shut from the outside while already being inside. This is physically almost impossible. Scotland Yard brought in world-class experts, escape artists, contortionists, people who specialize in confined spaces and impossible physical feats. They tried again and again to replicate how someone could lock themselves inside that bag. None of them could do it. Not a single expert could reproduce what would have had to happen for Gareth Williams to have gotten into that bag by himself. And then the investigation revealed something even more disturbing. His mobile phone had been wiped completely clean, reset to factory settings in the hours surrounding his death. Every message, every contact, every piece of data, gone. There were no signs of forced entry into his apartment. Nobody had broken in. Almost no forensic evidence was found anywhere in the apartment. For a death scene, this was extraordinarily unusual. It was as if the apartment had been professionally cleaned before police arrived. And then authorities did something deeply suspicious. They removed and replaced his entire front door during the investigation. The reason they gave was vague. The real reason has never been explained. Only one piece of DNA was found on the bag. It did not belong to Gareth Williams. It has never been identified to this day. In 2012, the coroner delivered a verdict that shocked Britain. She ruled that Gareth Williams was unlawfully killed, murdered. She stated clearly that it was impossible for him to have gotten into that bag by himself and locked it from the outside. Britain had an official murder ruling for one of its most classified intelligence officers, found dead in a locked bag inside his own bathtub, with an unidentified DNA sample that has never been explained. And then something extraordinary happened. In 2013, Scotland Yard suddenly reversed course completely. They announced they now believed Gareth had died alone. Accidentally. Intelligence experts, investigative journalists, and former government officials have quietly pointed to the same theory for over a decade. Gareth Williams discovered something during his classified work at MI6 that he was not supposed to know. Something so sensitive that someone decided he could not be allowed to live. He was killed by a professional. Someone who knew exactly how to stage a scene. Someone who knew how to wipe a phone. Someone who knew how to leave almost no forensic evidence behind. The locked bag was not an accident. It was a message. A warning to others inside the intelligence community. This is what happens when you know too much. This theory has never been proven. But here is what is equally true. It has never been disproven. And the British government has never provided a single credible explanation for how a man ends up dead inside a padlocked bag with the key on the inside. Gareth Williams was 31 years old. He had his entire life ahead of him. He was one of the most brilliant mathematical minds in Britain. He was working on secrets that most people will never be allowed to know about. And today he is gone, found in a bag, in a bathtub, in an apartment that was cleaned so thoroughly that almost nothing was left behind. The spy in the bag, one of the most chilling and unresolved mysteries in the history of British intelligence. What do you think really happened to Gareth Williams? Was it an accident, as Scotland Yard now claims? Or was something far darker at work that night in that apartment in London? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this gave you chills, hit subscribe, because next week we are going somewhere even darker.